Hi everyone. Today, in an unusual series of events, I'm going to get right down to business. This is going to have to be a quick video. I have a couple things I have to race around and do. It's been a long day. Then I go to the second to last meeting of the job that I shall not name. Not looking forward to it, but you know, hey, almost there. 2 more to go. Anyway, we are going to run through what I've colored for October, what my current works in progress are. I do have a giveaway planned. I was hoping to do it tonight. I do not have time. I'm not sure yet what I'm putting in it. So we're just going to wait till later so I don't watch it completely. All right. October had to have been the most fun month for me for coloring. I embraced my first Halloween coloring with full force. Didn't think I was getting sick of it until I was working on that last picture. And then I'm like, you know, I think I'm done. I'm done with Halloween for now. Real quick, though, we do have 2 works in progress that are carrying over to November. 2's not bad. I finished up all my other ones last month. It was a pain in the behind, but I'm glad I did. This is the work in progress we are working through in a watercolor and chat series. It is Spring Awakening by Deborah Muller. It is a color by number book. For those of you that haven't seen those parts, this is the progress we have made so far. I made this progress last Friday, so I have not been able to get back to this for a week. I'm hoping either in the next part, time depending, or having, 3 parts are out. It'll have possibly 5 parts, but I'm hoping to push it to 4 because we just have the cat, the background. Then we get to see the magic happen with water. And when I say magic happen, meaning I've never tried this before on this scale with watercolor pencils. So as with everything else that I do, it's either going to turn out really awesome or an absolute mess. And you all get to experience it with me. Hooray! Guys, I am no expert. If seeing me make, well, I don't like calling them mistakes, but I still consider myself a beginner. So please, you know, don't ever feel intimidated by coloring, because if you watch some of the stuff I've done in the past, oh boy, yeah, no worries for y'all. Okay, so Autumn Scenes is the only other work in progress I have. This poor thing, I started on like the 2nd day of the month, and this is about as far as I've gotten. This was from the 2nd Inktober prompt, which was Tranquil. I knew I wanted to color in this. It's Autumn Scenes by Teresa Goodrich. It's a Creative Haven book. And this was a picture I had picked out. As you can see, I've not made a ton of progress. It took me a long time to get these colors right here. I've mostly just been working on this a little bit at a time, particularly if I can't sleep at night. So far, all I've used are the Arteza Real Brush pens, which are these. And I'm not sure where I'm going next. It's not going to be just the Artezas. I think I'm going to do some distress ink and a wash on the brickwork. Not sure about anything else yet, but we'll see more of this hopefully in November. So those are only 2 whips I still have. That is pretty darn good for me. Because I half killed myself. Well, not killed myself, but I half burnt myself out last month catching up all my others. So the first picture that we really did in the month was this one. It was a download from coloringbliss.com, which is Jennifer Stay. And this is a premium member download, I believe. The custom coloring book I ordered had not come in at this point, but it also has this picture in it, so I'll have another one to color. This was done completely with Arteza Real Brush pens. I love them. I was having so much fun with them. Got started on them at the start of the month, and I don't think I've used them since. But this turned out a lot better than I expected, and I absolutely love it. The rest of these are probably not going to be in any particular order because I basically just had to toss everything into my lap because I have no room. Uh, there was a color along co-hosted by Anne at A Colorful Life and Zoe Archer. That is the Day of the Dead Sugar Skull color along this month. I found this download at Micah Jelena's Etsy store. It's called Dahlia. It is a grayscale picture. When you purchase it, you get this beginner grayscale, but you also get a more advanced one. I had to stick with the beginner. Haven't done a lot of these. Didn't realize my printer had printed all these lines too, but honestly, after getting it done, I don't notice them as much. I also colored this in pinks to represent it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This picture, I did a color and chat series earlier this month, and yeah, it's all marker work. And were there gel pens? There might have been a gel pen. I know I used a white gel pen right there, or yeah, white gel pen. But I'm pretty sure this was all markers, alcohol markers. I went through my entire stash of them and tried to find some pinks that would go together. When I first started coloring this, I thought this is going to be a hot mess. But at the very end, it came together, and I absolutely love this. This feels like it just, to me, looks like one of the best ones I've done, which I feel kind of bad about because it is grayscale, so it kind of helped me out. Speaking of color alongs, at the Bibliophile Colorist, which is John, he did for October a Lulu Mayo A Million Cats color along. And the picture he picked was a double spread picture. I ended up going ahead and going with that one as well. Oddly enough, I did not own this book till I heard him mention it. Now I own 2 copies. Big surprise. So this was my version of it. Oh, this is interesting. What in the world? Huh. Well, I don't know what's happening there. Okay, not sure what happened here. But this was marker work. I think most of the tea stuff was gel pen related. The cats themselves were mostly marker work. I did do a strip on the back wall that is water-based markers. And then I think the rest of the markers are alcohol-based. This is really wild, though. I've never seen this happen in a book. If anybody knows possibly why, let me know. It's been safely kept away. Now, you can see it bled through, which is why I have 2 books. Anyway, this was really cute. I love the look on her face. So, anyway, there's that one. Did a lot this month, you guys. A lot. Speaking of Inktober, and I'm sorry the camera keeps doing the autofocus. I don't know what's up with that. The first Inktober prompt was poison or poisonous. That was it. And weirdly enough, I veered away from my Halloween books and thought about the poison apple, of course, in Snow White. So I flipped through and I found this page and I went with it. And again, the water-based markers, just a thin layer of them will not bleed through, but the alcohol-based does. I started blending. All the green here is blended using Crayola Super Tips. And when you work at it that much and saturate it that much, it does bleed through. So FYI on that. I love this picture. This might be one of my favorites for the month. I blended using markers, the little crow, the fumes, whatever's in this thing. This is all mostly, I think it's all blended marker, to be honest. I don't think I did any shading with pencil in this. And it turned out great. I absolutely love it. And I'm looking forward to actually some color alongs for a color along this month for Fabiana. Oh, goodness. Now I'm going to butcher her last name. Atanzio? Oh my goodness. Anyway, I have some other books of hers that I'm eager to get into, and I'd like to color that one again as well. Also had some downtime. Went to my much-loved Floral Designs Color by Number book on the days I wasn't feeling up to choosing my own palette. We have this one. All of these are pretty much going to be marker work. Just straight coloring markers. More than likely alcohol-based. And here is the other one I did. So this month I I think this was the first one I did. And then this was the second one. I decided to just go to the very front of the book and just start working my way through it because it's pretty obvious I'm going to finish this up pretty quick. Love that book. It's kind of like a comfort book in that, like I said, I don't have to think about everything as much with it. Costume Cats, one of my favorite. I'm telling y'all, I know you say every time you get a new Jade Summer book, Michelle, you say it's your favorite. And I do. But I will go back and I will say I think this is truly going to be it because I love every single picture in this book. And the moment I got it, I had to color in it, even though I had plenty of Halloween-based pictures. Oh, I do have another whip. I just realized that. Okay, well, 3's still not bad. Anyway, this is a good example of an oops turning out okay. I'd started coloring him using a dark gray Sharpie, his uniform. And when I colored it, it looked like it was like completely hiding the line art. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm just going to have to leave it alone. I'll do the other copy of this picture in the book. Once it dried, it actually dried to a dark gray. So I was able to go back, finish this out. This was mostly, I think, Sharpies, Bics, Prismas, what have you. And then I think I used the budget-friendly colored pencils. I might have used some Prismas for this too. I can't quite remember. And that is the very first page in the book. I will probably have a very similar setup with this one. This was the first page that I really started coloring. Had some trouble with some Crayola Super Tips up there. I've noted before and I'll note it again. The best overall tip I can give regarding markers and Create Space paper that I've found is the drier the marker, the more damage it's going to do to the paper. So if you have a really juicy marker like a Prismacolor or a Sharpie or something like that, they won't do as much damage to the paper. But if you have a really dry marker like that particular Crayola Super Tip was, I've used others and hadn't had a problem. Then it will damage your paper. And that happened there. I was pretty frustrated. But the leaves and the flowers are all gel pen work. And as you can see, slowly but surely, she will be finished this month, though. Kind of got sidetracked. I think this was at the beginning of the month. It was really funny because I was coloring this page along with John, and I wanted to color. It was like the first picture I saw I wanted to color. And when I saw his series on it, I thought, okay, I want to color this one too. And what's funny is, and maybe I did, but I don't think so. This was at like the beginning of October. And I was sitting there telling myself, there's no way this has got to be September, but I guess not. Okay, next thing's going to be finding it. I stuck with straight color marker on this. Yeah, it's all marker based. Oh, I think I used just a little bit of metallic gel pen on that. So, but everything else is just marker based. This is one of those. I tried some more pastel-y type colors. I didn't like it as I was working on it, but at the end it finally came all together and I like it pretty well. Okay, that stack's going to fall over if I keep adding to it. So, man, let me just get all the non-Halloween pictures out of the way, and then we'll run through those, maybe. All right, might have to back the camera up for this. I had ordered this book because I was really loving the color by numbers, as you can see. And I didn't like having to pay so much for this book, but I also didn't realize how big it is. Like, if y'all have never seen this book before, the Jade Summer is a standard size coloring book. I'm going to have to back out the camera. Sorry, guys. You get to see the mess that is my desk right now. So as you can see, if I make it flush with the corner of this book, look at the difference in the size. Isn't that crazy? Like, if you turn it sideways, it's just a little less than half, a little more than half the height of the book. So then I was like, oh, wow, that's actually a pretty good deal, especially when I saw the inside. And one time I got my handy little magnifying glass because I was dying to color in this. And slowly but surely, I ended up with this one, which is the very first one in the book. And let me tell you, this stuff is addicting. If you don't want to look at the back and you want to figure it out for yourself, don't start one of these right before you're supposed to go to bed. Don't do it. Like, just bad news. Let me tell you. I'd like to try to do at least one a month in here. And I did use markers because I was not about to kill myself with pencil on here. And it does bleed through, so just keep that in mind. Ton of fun with that one. I really enjoyed it. All right. Well, it's not one of my videos unless I drop something, right, guys? Since I already have it backed out, my husband had to go out of town to visit family this month, and I wasn't feeling good, couldn't go with him. While he was there, he found these, which are Art Zone. That way, Michelle. Art Zone coloring pads. I do not see an artist or anything else listed. These were about $2 a piece. And as you can see, they are also very large pads. They are a lot thinner than, say, the Color Quest book, for example, but really good sized pages. And so for another piece for the Sugar Skull color along, I did this one. Just kind of messing around with it in the living room one night. And I do not recommend coloring when you start nodding off. Like, again, no big coloring right before you go to bed, because if you nod off, you're going to make mistakes. And I had to work at it to hide some of those mistakes. Anyway, this was unexpected, and it turned out really good. So, no beforehand color palette. I just winged it. Now, Cute Witches. I do love this book. I love this book dearly. I still think Costume Cats beats it, but, you know, I'm a cat person, so no big surprise there. This was one of my favorite. This has got to be in my top 5 Jade Summer books, though. Sadly, I did not have a lot of time to color in this one. One night, I just picked up. Now, we can zoom in a little. Whoop, that way. There we go. Sorry about that. When I use the livestream software, it does not allow me to zoom in and out. So I, again, just picked up a color marker and I started coloring one night. I think I picked up the purple and I was coloring with it. Then I went with the pinkish purple. And after that, I'm like, well, let's try green. As soon as I hit her hair with the blue, I just basically built this, and I didn't like it much at all to begin with. But then when I got done with it, I absolutely love it. I thought it was a really unique, different skin tone. It was a Cali Art. I think it was the Y000 was the one I used. And I think it works great for her. And the flames are sparkly. So anyway, really dig that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, these are not in any particular order, as I said. This is Happy Halloween Coloring Book by Susan T. Hall. This is a Dover book, but it is not a Creative Haven one. Their Dover coloring book series up here, they are typically double-sided and a little bit thinner papers. So if you're going to use markers, you're probably going to need to sacrifice the other side. So I started this one. Using budget-friendly pencils and using Crayolas. And I really liked the blend I was getting here, but the problem was it was killing my hands after 30 minutes of using those, because I haven't been using my pencils very much lately, and that's got to change. My hands and my wrists were killing me because they're hard pencils. So I switched over to some Prismacolors down here and for the beak and stuff. These were done using just a little rainbow colored set of pencils I picked up at like the dollar store or something. And I really liked the effect. But I did learn a lesson because I wanted to make this all colored pencil. I don't need to do colored pencil backgrounds because I got really impatient with this one. And I just started like, just really going heavy with it. And the problem is then if I kept going over the stars that were there, and your white Posca pen, this is a lot of layers, doesn't entirely cover up the blue. But that's okay. It's still cute, and I learned a lesson from it. So, Kawaii Halloween. This was one of the 2 final Halloween-related pictures I had to wrap up yesterday. Oh, come here. There you go. Had to retrieve one of my books. This, I didn't think I liked this one much to begin with, as much as I thought I would. But then when I started on this picture, I just ended up falling. I just really love this picture. This also gave me I guess a level up as a colorist, because this was the very first picture that I ran out of a marker. I know, right? Playful purple, probably one of my favorite colors for like a nighttime sky, ran out on me. I ordered a new one, was impatient. I found a similar colored one with Cali Art, but it's a shade or two different, but I'm not too worried about it. The rest of it is marker and gel pen. Pretty much all this here is gel pen. And of course, this little devil kitty. Not sure if that was a tongue, not sure if that was a cookie. I assumed it was a tongue. But I loved it. I love the blend of the colors on the little lollipop here, and it just ended up being really cute. So I was happy with that. Now, I did not post this last one on Instagram last night, because let me tell you, I didn't feel good last night. I was tired. I was ready to go to bed. This was the very last picture I finished for October. Halloweenscapes by Jessica Mazurkowicz. Yes. This is also another Dover coloring book. So again, double-sided. This is the picture that I did. I had started out with the pumpkins as a test for, I had not started using my Black Widow pencils yet. So I was testing those and mixing them with like the Artezas and Prismas and stuff. And I really like them. I like them a lot. And I've used them a lot more in a lot of my other pages this month, and will do so moving forward. I counted 10 cats in this picture, and I thought, I'm going to color each cat to look like one of the cats in my house. So, of course, I have 3 black cats. And when I look up and it's 7:30 at night, and I have, I've only colored 3 cats, I was like, this isn't going to work. They're just all going to be black cats. So, yeah, that was the moment I was officially kind of over Halloween. But I even got kind of lazy. I didn't want to do the color of the border, so I just used washi tape. Hadn't used that in a while, and I really kind of like it. This turned out to be a really pretty picture once it was all done. So I was happy. Finally, this right here has to be one of my favorite books, like of all my collection. This is by Lemon Drop Coloring, and it is a Spectacular Halloween adult coloring book. The same people, I believe, that make this made the Kawaii Witches in Autumn book. They also made the Kawaii Christmas. I think that's right. There are 2 different names, but it's like the same company. So anyway, I wish they'd make more like this. This thing, it's sarcastic. It's smarmy. I mean, I don't know. If I was to have ideas for a coloring book, this will be the kind of book I'd probably come up with. A lot of puns, a lot of things. As you're looking at these pictures, you see that you didn't see before. And I love that. I just think they're awesome. I had so much fun in this book. This picture, I just started at random, did a marker base. I think it's mostly marker and gel pen. I did use stickles so that the vampire would glow a bit. Yeah, I use a little bit of pencil around here to kind of get that glowy effect. But everything else is marker, I believe. I was able to eventually figure out how to blend marker on this. It took a while, but I was able to do it. Like I said, gel pen. The bats are gel pen too. She's got some stickle on her too, because she's a vampire. She's got to be sparkly. And this says Sand Witch, W-I-T-C-H, by the way, which I love. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I snickered when I figured that out on here. Finally, one of my pages I am most proud of. This is my first official double spread, full-size double spread done. I saw this one. I really had another page I wanted to do, but the moment I saw this, I thought, this is a good challenge. It was all marker base. This right here, the sky here, like dawn, I guess. The sunrise came out amazing. This was all big markers. And I think I picked from their pastel set. That's where a lot of these came from. I couldn't believe how pretty that came out. And I'm writing that down for future use. Rest of this, it's a marker base. And when I got done with it, I thought it looks good enough on its own, but I wanted to do more. And so then I added the pencil to it. And she's got to be one of my favorites. Her and the actual pyramid behind it are probably my favorite parts of this. But why does it look weirdly washed out all of a sudden? Like his vest is purple, not blue. What the heck? Okay. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. I don't really have time to fix it. I do have all these pictures up. I think just about all of them up on Instagram. If I don't color a picture on camera, 9 times out of 10, I will post it to Instagram. So I do have that down in the description. I will put the links to all of these in the description later tonight. I do not have time right now, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, I apparently wasn't keeping count. 13, 14, 15. Yeah. I think it was 15 pictures this month. Pretty close to what I had last month, I think. Anyway, this month was a ton of fun. I had more fun this month coloring than I have any other so far. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of the year. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy. Sorry for the... I mean, come on, 25 minutes is a rush video for me. Let's be real. But hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.